guest is one of the top mortgage professionals in San Diego, a big real estate investor, and the vice president of Cornerstone Mortgage Group. Please welcome back to the show. My good buddy, Sean Cahan is here. What's up, Sean?
Hey, not too much. How are you?
Good, man. Now, today, this is a huge topic. All the real estate professionals out there who might be listening to this show right now or watching this video on Facebook or YouTube, pay attention, okay? Because for the most part, in the mortgage industry, the field is pretty level.
Exactly.
That's what they tried to do with it, right? They tried to make the playing field level across the board, but you have an unfair advantage, so to speak, that we're going to talk about today.
Exactly.
Let's go there.
I mean, not too unfair because there are two other mortgage banks local that have it, but I would say that we're head and shoulders above what they can offer in the fact that we automatically pay for the rush fee, so we're not extending the escrow time, but we also can offer, like in all litigation properties, all of the downtown single entity ownership more than 10%, and investment, with less than 51% occupancy. So there's really kind of no, let's say, holding back on any of our financing on our 30-year product, because it's not normally a non-warrantable condo is like limited to like a 5-year, 7-year portfolio, in the mid fives. And so with having this investor behind us, supporting us, we can now offer a 30-year product and just a little bit above the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac rates.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So for people who are trying to get financing in multi-unit complexes, this happens a lot in downtown, right? Because it seems like the complex is there like clockwork. Once they get to a certain mark, boom, they go into litigation.
5 years.
Right.
Right?
Boom, there it is, in litigation.
Guaranteed.
There's only a couple that haven't done that. M2I was one of them, which was surprising when that timeline came and went. But most of them, that's happening. And we mean litigation, meaning there's a lawsuit against the homeowners association, correct?
Yeah, for mostly construction defect, everyone will say, okay, hey, it's just about common ground. There was one lawsuit that was downtown where the gentleman was suing in regards to living above a restaurant, so people were outside of the restaurant smoking. Some of those lawsuits, we can work around, and not have to go this direction. But most of the time, there's always something in there when the lawyers and attorneys get involved. They like to, plug in the construction defect.
But unfortunately, if you're a real estate professional and you're trying to get someone into one of these places, or someone wants to live in one of those places, financing becomes very, very difficult as soon as the word litigation comes into the play. And sometimes people are just shut out. I've heard a lot of people say, no, it's in litigation, you can't get financing.
Most don't realize that they can get it, or they think that you have to bring in 35, 40, 50% down, and not everyone has it. So we can still do a 20% down litigation on a 30-year fix that's very safe, per se. I think a lot of people like the word safe today compared to using this 5 and the 7-1 ARMs. Even though those are not the type of products that got us into the turmoil, it's more of a subprime market, they still look at those 5-year and 7-year ARMs as unsafe.
They're scary. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what's going to happen?
The fixed rate didn't even come around. I don't even know when it did. We should look that up. But the fixed rate came around late. Like, it was always an ARM back in the day. If you got a mortgage from a bank, the bank wasn't going to fix in the rate.
No.
How could they do that? But they do it today, and a lot of it has to do with the paper shuffling that goes on afterwards. But with regard to this particular situation that you have, this particular investor, this advantage that you have in the marketplace, now you're known in the industry for getting deals done, number one.
Correct.
And getting deals done quick. That's how people know you. But what you can actually do with this, I was looking at the sheet, all litigation is okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doesn't matter.
That's crazy, because this isn't just happening in downtown either. There are other multi-unit complexes that have litigation as well. UTC, Mission Valley, it happens there too. There's lots of places all over San Diego County. Low owner occupancy ratios. That's something that's become a really big deal, especially for people who want to use the FHA financing. You don't have that issue here.
No.
That's huge.
No, it's really big, and the reason that I brought them on was not to actually make money on that deal. Okay. I know most people say, hey, I got to make money. Yes, I'm going to make a little bit of money.
What's the catch, Sean? What's the catch? You're not going to make money on
I'm
the
going
deal?
to be honest. I'm telling the world. It's a loss leader for me.
Okay.
It really is. I want to get people into the home that they deserve, and I want them to be able to support the values that are, because if a property is in litigation, what happens is every single other person is affected by it, even if they're in the litigation or not in the litigation. But the more financing that I can bring to the table helps the value of that property and helps the turnover.
Right. Which
So
helps everybody. Helps
I'm using it
people in real
as a loss
estate.
leader. I'm paying the $995 rush fee, which my two other competitors will not and do not pay. I automatically will guarantee that I close in 25 days or less. I will automatically also be charging you less than 50 basis points on the loan. I don't care.
Wow. See, that's
what it is.
That's
It's
a
almost
crazy
like a
deal.
zero.
I told you he was going to bring in a secret today, and this is exactly what it is. It's not just a secret, it's an amazing opportunity because you're taking something that's been a huge headache and a huge problem for a lot of people, and you're actually turning it into a huge positive. I mean, if someone is seeing this right now in the profession who's looking to buy in one of these areas or who's been told, nope, you can't buy in this place because you can't get financing for the amount of down payment you have, now they can actually look at this and go, wait a minute, this is going to be great. Not only am I going to get in, but I'm going to get a great deal on top of it. Fantastic. You own a lot of real estate here in San Diego. I got a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever owned a property in a building or a community where litigation happened from the time you bought it until the time either till today or till the time you sold it?
7 of them.
7 of them. So I'm just sensing that there's some sort of personal, it's personal.
Yeah, because it wasn't around when I bought
through
those.
this. You've seen it.
Yes.
You've experienced it as an owner who's watched that happen to your complex or your community, and you want to do something about it. That's what I'm sensing here.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I actually, for a while there, just focused on buying in those litigation, but I had an end goal, and the end goal did reach maturity, which was great for us. And so I kind of like to give back and say, hey guys, still come to me. You can still get those benefits. Because I think that the prices right now are, a little bit higher than they were a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But people can still get really good opportunities by using this litigation financing on a 30-year product. So you can stay in there. You can turn it into a rental in the future if you want to, or you can buy it as an investment. We still offer it.
Yeah, this makes litigation speculation so much easier for people who look at those opportunities. If the market gets soft or a building gets shut off because of litigation, let's go look and find a motivated seller in there. You don't have to come in with all cash now. You can get financing to go in because you've got high HOA default ratios are okay. Another roadblock for people in these circumstances, and more than 10% of the units in that particular property owned by by one entity is also okay, which has been another roadblock. When someone sees that opportunity and goes and scoops up more than 10% of the units, that's also put a freeze on people.
And you see that more in like Mission Valley, also in UTC, when they went in and bought 100 or 200 or 300 units out of the complex as an investor, which was a really smart move on their side.
Brilliant.
But on the exit after the downturn, it's very difficult to get the financing.
Right.
So, and they're making concessions as well, like Fannie Mae to get a PERS is saying, hey, you need to list all of your places and not rent them. Well, what owner is going to say, okay, hey, I need to sell my place. I own 50 of them. I'm just going to list them for whatever, and I'm going to watch the values decrease because of it. They're just not going to do it. So it really does kind of keep a fair playing field for everybody.
Fantastic stuff, Sean Cahan. Really appreciate your time today. I think you're amazing for what you're doing, man.
Thanks, man.
Great stuff. One of the best mortgage professionals in town, Sean Cahan. If you need to get deals done, he's a guy you can count on. Stick around for more Smarter San Diego TV, where we guarantee to make you smarter than everyone else.